The question most people fear. Let me ask you a question most people avoid answering honestly. Why do some people walk away from relationships and immediately start chasing them again, but others walk away and are forgotten almost instantly? What is the difference? Is it beauty? Money? Status? No. The difference is something far more powerful, something most people completely misunderstand. And the ancient Stoics understood it centuries ago. The people who are hardest to lose are the ones who never tried to be impossible to lose. In other words, the more desperately you try to keep someone, the easier it becomes for them to leave. Part 1. The moment respect disappears. Relationships rarely collapse overnight. They decay slowly. First, the excitement fades. Then the attention fades. Then the effort fades. And one day you notice something strange. You are the only one trying. You are the only one sending long messages. The only one planning conversations. The only one fighting to keep the connection alive. And deep down you start asking yourself a painful question. Why am I the only one who still cares? But the truth is even more painful. Sometimes people don't stop loving you first. They stop respecting you first. And once respect disappears, love slowly follows. Part 2. The mistake that destroys attraction. When people feel someone pulling away, their instinct is to panic. They chase harder. They try to prove their value. They give more attention, more affection, more effort. But this creates a dangerous psychological signal. It tells the other person something without words. It says, "My happiness depends on you. My peace depends on you. My life revolves around you." And when someone realizes they have that level of control over your emotions, something shifts inside the relationship. Your value quietly decreases. Because humans instinctively respect people who do not depend on them for emotional survival. Part 3. What the Stoics understood. The Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote something that changed the way people think about suffering. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This simple idea contains a powerful truth about relationships. You cannot control someone else's feelings. You cannot control their loyalty. You cannot control whether they stay or leave. But you can control one thing: your reaction. Most people react with fear. Fear of losing someone. Fear of being alone. Fear of not being enough. But Stoicism teaches a different mindset. One that is incredibly rare in modern relationships. Emotional independence. Part 4. The power of detachment. Detachment is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming free. A detached person can love deeply, but they never surrender control of their inner peace. They never build their entire world around someone else. They never forget that every relationship in life is temporary. This mindset creates a strange psychological effect. When someone senses that you appreciate them, but do not need them, they begin to value your presence more. Because independence creates respect, and respect creates attraction. Part 5. Why chasing makes people leave. There is a paradox in human relationships. The more someone feels they might lose you, the more valuable you become. But when someone believes you will stay no matter what, your presence becomes predictable, and predictable things often become invisible. This is why chasing rarely saves relationships. In fact, it often accelerates the distance. Because every time you chase someone who is pulling away, you unintentionally communicate weakness, not emotional vulnerability, but emotional dependence. And dependence slowly erodes attraction. Part 6. The moment you become unforgettable. Now here is the Stoic secret most people never learn. The moment you stop chasing someone, everything changes. Not because you suddenly become cold, but because you reclaim your dignity. Instead of begging for attention, you focus on your life, your growth, your purpose, your peace. And something fascinating happens. People notice. Because a person who is calm, self-sufficient, and emotionally grounded radiates something rare. Quiet strength. And strength is unforgettable. Part 7. The rule of self-respect. The Stoics believed your character is the most valuable thing you possess. More valuable than approval. More valuable than popularity. More valuable than being liked. Which means there is one rule you should never break in relationships. Never sacrifice your dignity just to keep someone in your life. Because the moment you start accepting disrespect, you teach people how little effort they must give to keep you. And that slowly destroys your identity. Part 8. The relationship paradox. Healthy relationships are built on a strange paradox. The strongest relationships are not formed by people who need each other. They are formed by people who choose each other. Two independent lives. Two complete individuals. Walking side by side. Not because they cannot survive alone, but because they enjoy the journey together. And that difference changes everything. Because choice creates appreciation, but dependence creates pressure. Part 9. The final Stoic lesson. At the end of the day, Stoicism asks a powerful question. What truly belongs to you? Not your partner, not their emotions, not their loyalty. The only things that truly belong to you are your thoughts, your actions, your character. Everything else is temporary. Once you understand this deeply, relationships stop becoming sources of fear. They become experiences, moments to appreciate, but never things you must control. Final Stoic advice. One day you will notice something interesting. The moment you stopped chasing people was the moment they started respecting you. The moment you stopped begging for attention was the moment you discovered your own value. And the moment you stopped fearing loss was the moment you became unbreakable. Because the strongest person in the room is not the one who holds on the tightest. It is the one who can calmly say, I appreciate you, but my peace does not depend on you. And once you reach that point, no relationship will ever have the power to destroy you again.